Hello everybody, welcome back to day 48 of 100 Days of Code, and in today's video we're going to be doing some more Nuxt.js. So it's like what we did yesterday, we're going to go on some more, I wouldn't say advanced topics, but a bit further into detail on a few things. But at the same time, this is going to be a shorter video. I just need to get through a few things ready for tomorrow's video, which is going to be creating a project management tool in Nuxt.js, which is going to be hopefully a fun, quite probably a long video. Tomorrow's one, I'd say just under an hour. But let's hope it's good, and I hope you're excited for that, because we're going to do a bit more Nuxt here. We're going to be focused on vuex inside of Nuxt, Nuxt link, and some routing, some more advanced routing using parameters, which is going to be pretty fun. So let's get started. So first things first, we're going to do npx create Nuxt app, and then we're going to give it a name, and I'm just going to call this more Nuxt. And let's hit enter, and let's let that run. I'll see you once that is done, guys. Okay guys, so now we've got to do the config. Project name, that's fine, just hit enter. Project description, my magnificent Nuxt.js project. I love that it changes every single time. That is amazing, yes. We're not going to be using a Surfer framework, we don't need to. And we don't need any of these for this tutorial. We're going to be using Vuetify because I just love Vuetify. We're going to be using Universal and the author name. You can put your own name here. I'm going to put my own. And choose package manager, npm, because I haven't got Yarn installed, although I have started using Yarn. It's actually really nice. I apologise as well if you can hear the pitter patter of the rain on top of my car. I am sat in my car right now, as I didn't have time to record last night. So again, sorry for this video going up a few minutes late. So once that's done, I'll see you once that's done, I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, so this is what we're left with, our little cd more Nuxt. So we're going to do that, cd into more Nuxt, and then we're going to run code dot to run the current directory, which we've just cd'd into. Oh, there's the Discord server. Don't forget to come join us. The link is in the description. As you can see, it's very active right now. Let's quit that so it's not in our face. Okay, and then in here we're going to run npm run def just to get the def server running. It's going to load up everything, but while we're waiting, let's go back in here and sort some things out. So, first things first we're going to go over is vuex. And the reason we're going over vuex is because it's actually super simple. It's already bundled in with the Nuxt.js, create Nuxt app CLI stuff once you create a project. So all you have to do to set up your store, your vuex store, you just create a new file called index.js, and in here you export a state, mutations, getters, actions, and all that sort of thing from in here. We're going to be creating something really simple just so we can show off the basics of it. So in here I'm just going to write export const, and we're going to call this state, and we're going to set this equal to an arrow function that is going to return, so parentheses curly braces, so it's going to return an object, and in this object we're going to call this counter, and we're going to set this to 0 to start with. Again, this is just going to be a very simple incremental sort of app thing, just for showing you how it works. And then we're going to create a const, an export const mutations, and we're not gonna. This one is just going to be an object we export. We don't need to export return anything, because we're not going to. This is just functions we're returning, some methods inside of mutations, and this one's going to be called increment. This one's going to be called increment counter or increment. I think that's fine. That's what they use in their tutorials on the documentation. So increment, and then we're going to pass through the state and the increment value. So we'll call it value, and then we're just going to say state.counter is plus equal to value. So we can increase this by however we want depending on the value. And let's hit save. And that's all we need. So again, this is now set up. So now Nuxt will realize we have a index.js file inside our store, and it will basically set up all the configuration for us. So we don't need to do any more on that. That is all sorted. Let's actually check out our app. So it's now live. So let's open up Chrome or any web browser you guys like. And let's type in here localhost 3000. And this is going to bring us to our beautiful Vuetify cross Nuxt.js app. And I love that animation with that little thing there. That is always awesome. That logo is also very blurry. Vuetify should probably upgrade that. Anyway, let's continue on. So again, we've got this basic stuff. Inspire. First, solve the problem, then write the code. That exactly. Don't write code, then solve the problem. It's not going to work. Just showing off some cool things. Let's hit continue. Nice. So we've got that. Now let's go into pages. Let's remove Inspire because we're not going to be using that specific one. Let's go into index and remove everything inside this flex. Bam, and let's just write hello world. And I'm going to remove all this styling, all these directives. No, not directives. Well, I guess they are directives out of there. And we're now at Inspire, so let's get out of there. So there we go. Hello world. Let's go to components and remove the logo. Just remove a few things to tidy up. We don't need any of this. Remove that. And then in our layouts, in our default, let's also remove just everything. We don't need any of this yet, or not at all really. And just leave the fee app and pass in Nuxt as we usually would. So now if we go back, oh, we've got some errors. What did I delete? What should I shouldn't have? Logo.vue. It's pulling. Oh, so down here we've got to remove them from our script. Actually, we could just remove the whole script tag again. We don't need that. And hit refresh, and everything should load up. There you go. Just our little hello world text we've put in, just so it's there. This looking good. Let's now, again, we don't need script at all. We could just remove that. That can all go. All these readme. I don't like having the. I always delete the readmes from each and every page just because I don't like it. But other than that, it's fine. Alright, guys. So now we're in here. Let's just create a fee toolbar with a fee spacer. And then a fee toolbar title. And in here we're going to say hello world. Oh, that's not world. And then we're just going to pass a fee spacer again. So this all Vuetify component. So again, that's what we installed at the start. So if you don't know what Vuetify is, I've got some tutorials on it further down my page, further somewhere. And that is basically all what that is. So there you go. You got a little hello world app. I just wanted to add that in. No use for it. It's just there. And now let's go into our plugins, and you see this Vuetify one, so we can actually change the theme of this our Vuetify, and here we just want to change this primary color to be my favorite yellow color. The accent color is going to be something different. What we got? Let's say, what would be a good accent? I'm not sure. We'll go ED00AD. That's going to be a terrible accent. Why would that go with yellow? Pink does not go with yellow. Or does it? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Our secondary will be a E35205. And the rest is going to stay the same for now. This is usual. I'm just showing you this, what we're going to be doing in our project management tool we create in the next video. So I just wanted to show off a little bit so you understood something, and then we can then reiterate over it tomorrow to make sure it embeds in your brain for if you ever want to use Vuetify anyway. So that's good. So let's add a class called primary-text. I think it's actually the other way around. Nope, that is correct. So there you go. Just utilizing the classes we created. Let's add this in a span and give this a class of secondary -text. Hit save. That should update. Yeah, it looks terrible. It's fine. And in here we're going to say font weight black. And in this one, we're going to say font weight light. Let's hit save, go back, wait for it to refresh. Nice. Last one in here is just text uppercase. I always write that. I don't know why. I've got a habit of putting that in. And there you go. So that is that. That's just something really simple there. Just wanted to add that in. I always do differentiating font weights. Okay, let's get on to the good stuff. So we've got our toolbar here. Let's add in a nav, or a nav. Let's add a nav bar in, and let's create a second page. Let's call this page the project, or So sorry, let's add a Nuxt link. So this is called Nuxt link, and in here it's basically like an anchor tag, but it's specifically for the Vue router or Nuxt router. And in here we'll say about page, and then in here we're going to say to, and we're just going to pass through about or / about. And if we hit save, we're also going to wrap this in a button. So I'm going to say button. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. It should be fee button. Fee button. And it's going to have the flat design on it. Let's hit save. And there you go. We got this little button here. Ignore the underline. That's just styling off Nuxt link. And this goes to about it. So if we click this, it's going to take us to a 404 page because we haven't created the page yet. So if you remember in the last one, we don't actually have to modify any routes file, router.js file or routes.js file. We could just go in here and add in a about.vue. I'm going to do it via the folder structure method. So I'm going to say about, and then in there I'm going to pass in an index.vue. And in here we're just going to have a template which has a fee layout, fee flex. On the fee flex we're just going to say xs8 offset hyphen xs2, I believe. And then in there we're just going to say about page. Let's hit save. Oh. And let's go back to our app. So now if we hit this about, as you can see, we've got our about page, and we didn't give us a way to go back. We could just remove it from the URL there, but we're going to link fee. We're going to use fee. I keep forgetting what it's called. Fee. We use the Nuxt link. Sorry, so Nuxt link, and paste that back in there. And this one's going to be to / just so it takes us home. And there you go. But it looks a bit ugly, but again, we can do proper styling in our actual tutorial tomorrow. So Nuxt link, it's basically like using an anchor tag, but it's the correct way to do it inside of Nuxt. So the last tutorial I used an anchor tag, which wasn't actually the correct way to do it, to navigate. This is the same thing as a anchor tag. It's just this is actually going to give you the correct route you want to use. Also, don't forget, this is a normal Vue app as well, so we can actually create components here. So I'm going to take this toolbar out, and I'm going to pass through navbar here. And then in my script, I'm going to have a components section. This is going to say navbar, and then we're going to import navbar from, and then we've got to pass through here. So I'm going to use the tilde, and that just says the root of the directory. It's basically a Nuxt shortcut, alias, as it's called, and we're going to say components / navbar, and that should sort us out. But we need to go into our components and create a new navbar.vue component with a template that holds in our toolbar. Let's hit save, go back, let it refresh. Everything should be good. There you go, nothing's changed, but again, I've just showed you that you can use components to make your code more modular. Okay, we don't need that anymore, we don't need that. Now, on our home page, let's create a fee button. Oh, that's incorrect, it's fee btn, and we're going to say click me. And we're going to pass this a value or date. No, actually, we'll leave it for that for now. We'll just go fee button. We'll give it the primary tag, so that should make it yellow. Oh, color primary, sorry. I think. Let's go back. There you go. Little primary button there. And let's add the XS8, or let's add XS6 offset XS4 for 3. Oh, can you actually... 12 minus 6, yeah, 3, right, I'm sorry. And let's add a class in here. Oh no, let's just add PA1 to add padding all 1. Again, these are all, or maybe padding all 3, I think, actually. There you go, brings it in a little. This is just so we can have a, how'd you put this? Yeah, padding. So padding all these classes I use up here are all Vuetify classes or directives, and the fee, anything hyphened with fee hyphen is a vuetify component, which we can use. And all this on the vuetify documentation. If you just type in vuetify in Google, it'll surely come up as the first one. And in here, we're going to have a, I don't know, a diff with, it's going to hold our counter, and it's going to have our value. So in here, we are going to pass through our $store.state.counter. So what we set up in the beginning inside of our store is what we're going to be passing through, our state. And cannot read property of state, so $store.state.counter. What have I done wrong there? Okay, guys, this is really weird. So so that error I had where it said the state is not found, and we could actually, if we want to, we can cut this out and we can actually paste store there instead of running computer. This isn't recommended. So what I did earlier as well will actually work. You see, it prints out 0 if we change the counter in here to value what, 100. So it's save, refresh, shift refresh. There you go, 100. The reason it was not working when we just tried it there was because I had to restart my server, so I had to close this down. I had to Control C out of this and run npm run def to actually get it to work. So now if we refresh this, as you can see, it's all working fine. So now what we need to do is on click of this, so we're going to say at click, we're going to set this equal to a increment, an increment thing here, and we're going to pass through a value. So to pass through a value of 5 every time, so we'll count up 5. So now underneath computed, we're going to write methods, and inside of our methods we're going to set up increment, and it's going to pass through the value, and then we're going to say this dot dollar store dot commit, and then we're going to pass through the name, which is increment, as we did there, and then we're going to pass through the value. So we're just going to pass through value and hit save, and now this should actually work. So if we come back here, we hit refresh and we click this, as you can see, every single time we click it, it goes up by 5 each time. Look at the speed click there. So yeah, every time we click this, it goes up by 5. So that is how you use vuex inside of Nuxt. Very weird that I had to restart server. I don't remember doing that before, but I probably just did it anyway, knowing me. So don't forget, if you get the error where it says state it's not defined or it's undefined, then just restart your server and hopefully that should fix it for you. Continuing on, so we've got this. Again, these are only small things I wanted to go over. So this is how you use vuex. This is how you use the Nuxt 2 route, so you can switch between routes, and as you can see, the counter is persistent between routes. Now I want to go over ID parameters. So how we can do parameters. So let's say we want an about or we have a projects folder. So like we're going to do, we're going to say projects or project, and then inside this project folder we're going to add an underscore. So to use parameters inside of Nuxt, it will create the parameters and the link itself by what you've put in here. So for an ID or for a parameter, you would pass underscore and then the param name. In our case, we want, let's say, the title, or ID would be a correct case. So in ID, and now in here is where we put our layout for that specific ID, what we pass through. So we're going to say index.view, we'll say template. In here, we're just going to write fee layout, fee flex, and on the fee flex say xs6, offset xs3, and then in here we're going to pass through some curly braces, and we're going to say $root, so we're going to get the root.params.id, and whatever we pass through the ID now, it's actually going to give us. So as you can see here, so we need to go to that root, so we're going to say here project, and then we're going to pass through an ID. Again, this can be anything, so I'm just going to put hello. So if I hit enter, actually we get hello. If I change this to be, let's say, an actual ID, let's say it's like numbers and letters, and we hit enter, we get the ID. So that is how you pass through parameters, and you can chain parameters on parameters. So you could add in here ID, and then in here underscore or date or something, I don't know, and then that could be your filtering system. It's not a smart one, you could do it much simpler, but these are just examples. So we could say hello world, and now it's going to pass through hello world and stuff like that. And if we go to project, it's going to come up with nothing because project doesn't actually have an index.vue file, which you could still add inside there. But that is how params work. So you could pass through anything. So you could say, we was to change, so whatever this underscore, after the underscore, it's what your actual param is going to be called, and Nuxt does this all for you. So as I've said, the routing and the system inside of Nuxt is so powerful, especially in the universal. It's so powerful for the universal apps, and the sparse and the pre-rendered. It's powerful for everything. Again, this stuff can all be done in Vue basically, but Nuxt just makes it so much more simpler for you, so you don't have to do any config or anything like that. It's absolutely amazing. So that is it. All we have for today's video. That in tomorrow's video we're going to be using Nuxt now to create an actual project. So we'll be creating a project management tool. So we're going to be creating projects, and then inside we're going to open up those projects, and inside those projects we're going to create task lists, or just tasks, what we have to do to complete that project. It's not going to be, I'm going to try and make it visually pleasing as well, so we're going to do a bit of CSS, a bit of Vuetify, I hope, and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button. As usual, drop your comments below. Any feedback you have can go down there, and if you want to, you don't have to, I'm not forcing you, but come and join us. If you don't, I'll be very sad. Come and join us at the Discord server. The link will be in the description. This will not be on a GitHub repository because I believe this was just more me showing you what to do, and it's just kind of a messy little thing. You could recreate this in, what, 5 minutes? I just wanted to go over everything so you could see what it was. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video, and peace out.